What a wonderful day. Good evening, Michelle Blom, and good evening to the Chippendales, to David Osborne. Of course, it has been a while, and tonight we have got some fantastic news. We're joined here this evening by Caspian, and we are joined here by Irina, my dear wife. And Caspian, show everybody your jumper, because the microphone's actually in the way. Look at that. Now, the only problem is we might get confused tonight because Caspian has got a jumper with a teddy on it. Mm-hmm. And some of you might think that that is Ted. But in fact, who's over there? Ted, why don't you come in the picture just round, because we've got a superb evening lined up for you.
We put the chair there, little chair there for Ted.
Yeah, Ted can come here.
Where is that little chair?
Where is that little chair gone? I don't know where that little chair's gone.
Oh, it's in there. It's where
bring the little chair.
Watching
but Ted, come in and say hello. Now, this is Ted. This is not Ted. This is Caspian. This is Ted, in case you get confused. Ted is going to come in here. Oh no, this way. This is good. Good. You come here, Ted. Right there. Then we've got to... But where's the little chair? We need the little chair.
Yeah, the grey one. The grey chair.
Little grey chair. That's two. We've got... Now, where is everybody from this evening? Just while we get settled. John James is here from Australia. Ramona's from the USA. Christine Russ, good evening. Lords, ladies, knights, heralds, freedom fighters, and truth seekers.
No, the small
Peter,
grey armchair.
The small armchair. That's the one.
This is table.
Agatha is joining us from not so very far away. Julie Carnell. Julie Carnell. Hello from Birmingham. It's your daughter's birthday. What is your daughter's name, David? We'll wish her a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Eve. Nice jumper. Somebody likes your jumper. Birgit says hello.
Birgit. Hi, Birgit.
Birgit and I, we got going on Clubhouse the other night.
Oh
and
my God.
Caspian and I happened to be in the bath. And, of course, we were speaking to Birgit on the Clubhouse in the bath, which was, it's a bit dangerous, of course, doing the social media in the bath, but we somehow did it. Didn't we, Caspian?
That's a very good...
And this is Dillis Hughes, Newton Abbott, Michael Blom, Law 111 from New South Wales. What were you going to say, darling? David Osborne is from Scarborough, Denmark, or is that your daughter's name, Scarborough? Northern Ireland, Cheshire. Gosh, there's so many different people. Thank you so much. Now listen, tonight we have got some such good news. This tonight is all... Where is the doggy?
He's coming.
Where is the doggy?
He's
the
coming.
doggy has just been taken out for
coming.
a strategic pee, this puppy. The good news is we have got a name for the puppy. Here he is. Here's a picture of him. And I'm just trying to get the picture on the screen. There he is. This is the pup. And all of you have been so helpful.
Thank you for helping us with the name.
And thank you for creating watch parties. Alison White from New Zealand. Look at this. Somebody said this about, what a gorgeously divine child you have there. Such a gentle heart. You're absolutely right. Very, very nice, gentle heart. Now, we're having a very positive day. The good news is the tide is turning in England.
Here he is.
Here he is. Now, we're going to let Caspian tell everybody the name that he has chosen for the puppy.
Monty.
Say again, look at everybody.
Look at everybody and tell them, what is the name?
Monty.
Monty. Now, still Ted is slightly out of the picture.
Oh yes, let's get Ted in the picture.
I'm going to get... Darling, you're going to have to scooch in a bit.
Peter.
You're going to have to scooch in.
No problem.
Could you pass a pillow?
More, a little bit more.
Just a pillow, yeah. Thanks a lot, thank you.
How's that?
Ow. A little bit more camera this way.
Yeah, and can you move the camera this way so then we're all in the picture?
A bit more. Oh, there you go.
This is Ted.
Everybody say hi to Ted.
Not to be confused with this Ted here on the jumper. Not to be confused. Now tonight we are going to do something very, very special. Number one, what do we all think of the name Monty for the puppy? Is that something that meets with everybody?
It really suits him because look at him. He really is.
Now,
Monty.
is it Montgomery short for, and Monty is short for Montgomery?
I don't know really.
Or is this Monty as in Monte Carlo, as in broke the bank at Monte Carlo?
Monty, it's Monty.
With a Y.
Or the full Monty.
Love Monty.
Julie Carnell.
Loves Monty.
Julie
Everyone-
loves Monty. Everybody loves Monty.
He's
Oh,
very
Dawn
cheery.
Rayner's nickname is Monty.
Dawn Rayner's nickname is Monty.
Ow,
You
ow,
see,
ow,
there you go.
ow, ow, ow.
I was speaking to
So-
Nicky yesterday, and he was telling me all about his friendship with you, Dawn, and how he'd missed you, and that you're going to go off skiing
Monty.
together, and
Drop,
with
leave it. Good boy.
obviously the family and so on and so forth, which would be lovely.
Okay.
Everybody likes Monty. Birgit Cunningham likes Monty. Now, Monty is still a very little puppy, isn't he?
Monty from Montgomery. Yes, that's right, Chris. Maybe.
Is he a bit naughty?
As in Monty Python.
Monty is a perfect name, and he'll bring so much joy to Caspian and to you all. I mean, I have to say, Nanny took these pictures, and she really is becoming quite a good photographer. This is Monty outside Camelot,
To who? You just say to who?
and he's settling in very, very well. He is, of course,
Here. Caspian wants to send some
pissing
hearts
everywhere.
to everyone. Wow, he's really getting quite a bit.
He's having a little
Jane
pee.
Marshall
Really,
likes
Jane
the name.
Jane Marshall likes the name. Pendrin Guesthouse. Pendrin. I will go so far to say, Pendrin Guesthouse is the finest hospitality establishment in Tintagel.
Exactly.
We bow to their superiority, and very often we'll have guests coming into Camelot, and they'll say, you know, frankly, the service here is so terrible at Camelot. We're going back to Pendrin Guesthouse. So whatever you're doing there, you think you guys are fantastic, and we
You
will
must come
continue.
for tea.
Do come for tea, and so I promised you cats and mice this evening, and I have to tell you that we are in the presence, of course, as many of you know, of Ted Sturton, who is one of England's, if not, he's not one of England's, he is, in fact, England's greatest living artist. Now, I say that, and I've been saying that for some years because I know Ted very well. And some of you may say, how can you say that? Because some of his paintings, they're not my taste. See, Jane Marshall says hello.
He's sending cards. Oh, he's sending hearts from my phone. So.
Okay, so you're helping out there. Well done, Caspian. That's really good.
That's my job, sending hearts.
That's your job.
Look, Richard Harwood. This one.
Richard Harwood,
No,
where?
That one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Look, message for Ted.
Richard Harwood, Ted, my wife, thanks you for her picture 19 years ago.
Oh my
Is she
God.
still enjoying it?
Is she still enjoying it?
Wow,
Is she
that
still
only
enjoying it?
works.
Chris Ram says, I like the black and white cat you have at Pendrin, lovely, and I can see you've lost a very fine chair to it. Well, I can tell you, Chris, that Pendrin is a very, very much loved guest house in the village of Tintagel. They are always fully booked. It's impossible to get in there. And frankly, most of the time, people calling up here for Camelot, they say, well, we tried to get into Pendrin,
That's good.
but now they're here. So Ted, why is Ted, technically speaking, the world's greatest living artist? But of course, his paintings are absolutely beautiful, But it's because he encourages many, many artists to get up and running. And in fact, I go so far to say that since we've been here in the last 20 years, Ted has gotten nearly 1,000, I would say, new artists up and running. So these are people who would never normally have careers as an artist, but now they have viable careers. Now, by viable, what I mean is they're making more money than they're spending, and they're surviving through their art. And what we realised when Ted and I first decided on the sort of artists in residence and the artist inspirational program here is it's so, so important to validate creativity and to get people up and running. Because imagine being an artist and you just really, really, really want to produce art, but then you end up flipping burgers in McDonald's. Now, if you wanted to flip burgers in McDonald's, that would be totally fine. if that was your life's passion. But if your life's passion was to be an artist, and so what Ted does is he teaches people artistic viability. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ted, but you actually use Scientology to do that, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. So if you want to write to Ted, you can find out how to become a viable artist. He'll tell you exactly how to do it. How do you make more money than you spend as an artist? How do you create a career as an artist? How do you get your career up and running?
Also, could I interrupt a second?
Yes.
It's
hard.
It's hard for some people, but it's also remarkably easy to do it. Funny enough, it's not as difficult as one would think.
No, it's not as difficult as one would think, and you've just got to give it a try. As our great friend Buddha said, "Don't be shy, give it a try." Buddha, of course, is the king of karaoke in Cornwall, and if you're out there, Buddha, we'd love to have you come back, because this summer we are going to do the Camelot Castle karaoke competition. We're going to re-get that going again. If there are any karaoke fans out there, many of you will remember about 15 years ago our karaoke competitions, and that is what we're going to be doing. Now, this evening, we have got something that Caspian and Ted have been planning. Caspian, could you tell us what we've got, what you've been...
fashion show today.
Fashion show?
Well, it's a fashion show of paintings. It's a fashion show of paintings. Ted has produced an incredible exhibition, which is going to be here. It's a private exhibition, but you guys are going to be the first to see this. Now, as all these paintings are for sale. However, we're not trying to sell paintings to you. We simply want to share this with you. If there are any paintings that you like, as we go through this, we're going to put a number on each painting. So if you want the painting with the number on it, we'll tell you the painting, we'll tell you the number. You can contact Ted afterwards. I don't want to get this into a sales thing. One of the great things that we have launched recently is DGB. And we are now in a position to carbon neutralize every single painting that Ted produced. In other words, these paintings will have 0 carbon footprint. And we've actually got a special calculator at the DGB website, and you can actually work out what the carbon footprint is on a painting, or on, for instance, the transportation of a painting. Of course, if you live in Australia, your painting's carbon footprint is going to be a lot higher. So these paintings that we're showing you today, they are, not every single one of them, but most of them are carbon neutral, and you can check with Ted which ones are carbon neutral and which ones aren't. But I think it's a very exciting thing now that every artist in the world, thanks to DGB is this fantastic company. There you go. I've told you all about it before. You can watch a great interview on our YouTube channel with Selvin Divestein.
And some very proud DGB shareholders are on broadcast at the moment.
Yes, we do have some DGB shareholders.
Very early shareholders.
Very early shareholders. So Ted, I'm going to hand over the stage to you. And what I think would be a good idea is if you could...
Can I help with the fashion show?
Well, the art show. It's an art show, but it's a fashionable art show. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. So you've been preparing this with Ted. So what is the first painting you're going to show us?
Right. Let's see.
Now, this particular painting... Ted, could you just explain the idea behind these paintings?
Sure. So what we're going to look at this evening is we're going to look at a couple of series. We're going to look at the mouse series, and we're also going to look at the part of the tree series as well. And the first painting here shows, the idea is that the mice basically are great friends, and they go all over the world and have all sorts of different experiences together, and they like to view things and then discuss with each other what they're looking at. And so John, I think in one of your poems you once wrote, fun for one is a zero sum. So here I'm just taking the friendship concept and taking it into, or using the mice as examples of friends, basically.
Now, each of these pieces is a signed piece is a signed piece, and you can basically contact Ted if you want this painting. This is painting number 1, and this is 2 mice looking at the Statue of Liberty. And I wonder, if you were a mouse today, what you would think of freedom. Now, those of you know, I have been recently banned from Facebook for saying things that I thought were very helpful, but Mr. Zuckerberg thought that I was being, distasteful or something. So what we've done is we've set up a Telegram channel, and if you want the real inside skinny as to what's going on the planet right now, in fact, there's a video that's going to go on there tonight on our Telegram channel.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
That I wouldn't even dare mention it on Facebook, but I will put it up on the Telegram channel. So while you're looking at this art, which is very, very lovely and is very, very fun and very, very beautiful, this is what we have here, is 2 little mice considering liberty. 2 friends considering liberty. Do you think the mice of this planet have something to worry about when it comes to the liberty of the world at this particular time? Very simple little creation. Now, painting like this, listen, if you're an oil-rich sheikh and you've grown up with oil under the bed, you're going to pay several £1 million for this painting if you turn up here at Camelot, because you know what? You've probably been overcharging me for my petrol. You've been overcharging me for my petrol for years, so I'm probably going to overcharge you for a painting. However, if you're a really nice person, you never know, I might just give it to you, you see. And but what we say is, it's rather like when Mrs. Mappin goes out and buys some shoes. It should probably be a bit painful for her poor husband, and that is the thing. When you buy a piece of art, it should probably be a bit painful. But what we're going to do this evening is we're going to let you price the art, because you are all very, very fair people, and all you've got to do. So that's how this game's going to work. This is painting number 1, and that is the mice looking at liberty.
Dad, what do I say?
What?
What do I say what I show?
Well, I'm
What's
sorry.
supposed
Is that a way of telling me to shut up?
No, I
No.
don't know what
What?
you're trying to say. So cry. No,
This
this
is-
a new one.
No, this is a new one. This is a mouse. This is a mouse. Caspin, could you explain what this is to people? Your job is to explain what this one is.
So, this is a mouse looking at a chicken.
This is a mouse looking at a chicken.
That's true.
Now, can I say that this is Caspian's first evening on commission, and he is earning a 5% commission for every painting that gets sold this evening, because he is actually saving up for a new 6-wheel gator for his chicken farm, aren't you?
Well, don't tell what I'll get.
Okay.
No, I haven't told what you've got, because
Well,
you haven't
yes.
gotten it yet.
Well, you're saving up for some equipment, shall we
You're
say
saving
that?
up for some equipment.
Some secret equipment, yes.
And I will bring it in the blue room and show you.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Once we move this sofa. It'll be a gator sofa.
Can we have
Yes.
a
Oh,
green?
careful
can we
of
have
the
a
pup.
green one?
Oh, there Lindsay says, hi Caspian.
Hi, Caspian. Now, Robert Harbord Hammond says, are the mice called John and Ted? My Lord Robert Harbord Hammond. Robert is a Lord of the Realm, currently based in Thailand. Be nice to the doggy, Caspian.
The dog is biting.
This is Ted's. Now, this is obviously a part of the Red and Grey series, which Ted is most loved for. And this is painting number 2.
So you got an
Would you
offer
like
for
to see
painting
another-
number 1.
Would you like to see?
Painting number 1.
Would you like?
You've
to
been offered £78. Wow, that is extremely generous. What I would like you to
That's
do...
not painting number 1.
No, this is painting number 2. Sorry.
Now I'll show painting number
we're still
Wait,
not
wait.
finished. Wait. Finish this, please.
Sorry, I
Painting
didn't
number
finish,
1.
Yes, yes.
On the next, do you want to see a green tree series, or do you want to keep going with the mice?
Well, we'll keep going with the mice, because we
Yeah.
promised them mice, and
Thanks a lot.
we'll do that a little later, though.
And if anybody liked to, they could maybe just send me an email or something.
Yes. You can bid on here. It's fun to bid on here. Or you can bid for this one here. Now, this is... Okay, Caspian's going to say the
So
next
Richard sent us...
one. An email.
God, this dog is going mad. Stop it.
Okay, so explain what this is, Caspian.
This is
What number? Painting?
3.
Painting number 3. And what is this? This is, zoom into the camera. There you go, Lindsay says, zoom into the camera. This is painting number 3. And this is, what is this, Caspian?
The mice looking at a chicken.
Very, very
Oh,
talented.
the big
Ted.
chicken.
Yeah.
Now, what are those mice thinking about?
Well, a chicken.
Bloody good answer, you see. That's exactly probably what they are thinking about. What do they think about the chicken? What do you think they think about the chicken?
Don't know.
No, nor do I. But you know what? If you have this painting in your home, painting number 3, you can think every day, what exactly are those mice thinking about that chicken?
And also,
Closer up.
you can make your own opinion.
Absolutely right.
Well, we learn that about art. Nobody can tell you. Nobody can tell you. Now, Mark Ebner is on here, and he
Who
says...
is he?
Mark Ebner, I don't know. Put up his comment, because it's... Now, Mark Ebner, John Mappin, principal funder of Turning Point UK, is a Scientologist. All you need to know...
You don't say.
Mark, are you a religious bigot by any chance? Are you? Because what if you were to write John Mappin, principal founder of Turning Point, is a Jew? All you need to know. You see? That wouldn't sound quite so good, would it?
Or a Muslim.
Or a Muslim. Or a Muslim.
What
Or
Muslim?
a black man. Or one of the 57 genders that we're all allowed to be these days. You see, bigotry, Mark, is very much a thing of the past. Very much a thing of the past.
Catch up with times, Mark.
Catch up.
Catch
But you're very welcome here. We even trolls are welcome at Camelot Castle. But it's lovely to have you here. Now,
See, Caspian, our viewers, they really responded to what you said about having your own opinion.
Yeah, that
They
was a great-
love it.
That was a great suggestion.
you've got to have your own opinion, haven't you? You see, now Mark Ebner could buy this painting,
Yes.
and
'cause
he could think, is that a racist chicken? Or an intolerant chicken? Maybe that's what the mice would be thinking. But there we go. Lovely to have you here, Mark. Now, the mice and the chicken are watching the sheep who are eaten by the shepherds. My Lord Robert Hubble Hammond, you see,
You're very,
your
very,
humour
very-
has not lost
Yes,
you.
you're very sharp.
Painting number 4.
Okay.
Painting number 4, okay. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I love that. Get it close.
This is a let me put this straight to the camera. There we go. Caspian, where did you find this painting?
Oh, I love that. Look at
Where did
him.
you find it?
He's gorgeous.
Where did you find this
Where
painting?
does that painting come from?
Now,
I made it.
No.
somebody says, come on,
Oh, is that the one
tell
you
us the
helped him?
real meaning of these. Now, I will tell you, there is a meaning to these paintings. It's very, very deep, very, very deep indeed. You see, a mouse can never resist cheese. That's the one thing about a mouse. And the one thing about a suppressive person, and not to say that all mice are suppressive by any means, but the one thing about a suppressive person is that they cannot resist life energy. And if you create enough life energy, you will catch all the mice in the house, because they will reveal themselves very, very rapidly indeed. And the key thing is to place your cheese in the right locations so that you work out who the mice are. And that is one of the metaphors that we're playing with in this mouse series, isn't
They
it, Ted?
usually often come to the same type of cheese. Life, yes.
Yes. You'll find. Have you ever found in life sometimes you do something really, really constructive, and a big fat juicy rat appears about 10 minutes later. Have you ever found that? It's absolutely fascinating how it happens. But anyway, this painting here, number 4.
Somebody put up £300. Lucky Savoy.
Lucky
painting,
Savoy.
Which painting is
This
that?
is painting number 4.
Is that the one-
£300.
Is that the
yours.
one you like?
This
Well,
is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Do please, by the way, if everyone could share this broadcast all over Facebook, we would like these paintings to go far and wide, because the lesson of the mouse with the cheese, you know, is a lesson that today, I just wonder if there are any mice in the government. I don't know.
So
But can we say that on Facebook?
Please send Ted an email.
I wouldn't say such a
to
thing on
arrange
Facebook for
the
fear that I'll be
purchase.
banned for another month. But look at what we've got here.
Oh.
2 mice. Now, what is this about?
Sorry to interrupt you. Do they have my email so they can?
Yes,
Yes,
it's there.
the email
Ted
is...
Sturton
Oh,
at
yeah,
Camelot
that's
Castle.
perfect.
This is painting number 5.
Yeah.
Painting number 5. Part of the mouse series. And Caspian, tell us what we're looking at here.
What are they doing,
Can you see?
Caspian?
Oops, over here.
Stand up and have a look.
Play
Well, have a look.
What are they
Caspian.
playing with?
a ball.
Okay.
Okay, let's ask Ted.
Verektan says there were a lot. Put up some of these comments because they're absolutely hilarious. Robert Hubblehammer says mice are spiritual messengers. Google it. I think you're not wrong, Robert. Sharon Peratt says plenty of rats. Verektan says there were a lot of those in the White House. You know what? I think you're absolutely right. See, this particular painting is absolutely fantastic.
Angie,
What?
we did name the puppy, and we said it earlier. The name is Monty.
Monty.
Yes.
Monty.
And thank you for your suggestion.
As in Montgomery, Monty with a Y, not Monte Carlo, as in broke the bank at Monte Carlo.
Is Peter
What
there?
do we
Now,
want
where
next?
is the next painting?
Next painting?
Is Peter there?
The next painting.
I will have to get it myself.
Okay.
You will have to
Thank
get
you,
it yourself.
You gotta
The next
earn
painting.
Permission.
Which one is it? There you go. Absolutely. Now, this is actually on canvas, this
Also,
painting.
don't La Femme dans Promenade de Jardin.
You can't
There,
read
that one.
red highlight comments. Can people read comments?
Now,
Can we read? Can you see comments that we put up?
yes.
Well,
people
Lindsay
can-
said you can't.
Yes, these are the
Ah,
mice.
because they're in red is why.
Yes, these
So
are the
why
mice.
Can we change them?
I've
Why
got to
don't-
change the comments to
Can
red.
you change them, please?
Yeah,
To-
I will.
to
I will.
white?
I will. I will.
And
Okay,
just-
well, you hold that, darling.
Okay, I'll
You
hold
pass
it.
me the
Change-
doohickey.
phone.
No, you have to pass me that.
Okay, so we'll change. Why are they in red? It's so funny. Okay, Ted,
Yeah.
next
Well,
picture.
here we have. Now,
Oh my
here-
God, I love that.
Here we have the mice going up to Westminster to have a serious discussion with the monkeys in Parliament. And in order to get to Parliament, they have to get on the bus. And one of our mice friends has taken the liberty of actually driving the bus himself because of the current restrictions.
Right.
And so
So
yes.
why are they not wearing masks? People are
Oh,
asking.
no, well, that's okay. I'll just explain why they're not wearing masks. Shall I just wait for?
Yeah,
Mr.
they can
Well, I'm
see
trying
it.
to-
They can see it. They can see the painting.
No, they can see the painting. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh,
they
they
can
can?
totally
Yes,
see the painting.
Yeah, that's only we seeing that.
Yes, our friends, the mice. Actually, they're all completely germ free,
Hurry up already, John.
and they have a very good immune system. And what they tend to do is they tend to look after themselves very well, so they don't have to have all sorts of bits and pieces pumped into them. And
But look at that. That is such a fun painting. Look,
Yeah.
a red bus. It's a London-like painting. Whoever loves London, but John's having serious problems.
I'm having a technical
Come on, change
technical
it.
difficulties here.
Hurry up already, Johnny.
Darling, you are a very...
Maybe the
See, that's correct. See, she sent me a picture, Lindsay. You cannot read the comments. It's terrible.
That is terrible. I'm trying to sort the comments out, but they're just not
let's
sorting
have
out.
this.
Here we go. Here we go.
Let me
Here we go.
take-
Here we go.
Okay, he's sorting.
No, 'cause
Well,
I don't
you
want
take
to have
it.
a
You
sore
take it.
arm.
I don't have a sore
And
arm.
I just
I
want-
love the painting. I want.
just want, John, I'll give you. Shall I just let
Yeah.
you have it flat for a second? So,
I'm from North London.
John,
Yeah.
Have you changed it?
Oh, shoot.
What have you done now, John?
I'm sticking pictures in the middle of the dam.
Okay, okay, so we're going to read the comments because John cannot change it. Unfortunately, we're going to just.
I know
read
what's the
comments.
problem.
Okay, oh, please don't. Let's see. We'll make sure we haven't missed anything. Did Ted have a stall at Glastonbury Festival a few years back? I don't think so. No, Ted, you did not have a stall at Glastonbury Festival, did you?
Although...
Oh, actually, there is something to that. But I'm just
what's
going to
that?
let... Shall I take this from you?
It's fine, I'm just holding it.
Aha!
Oh,
Here we go.
my God. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
well
Hallelujah.
Done.
Well done, John.
Okay, you hold the painting. Let's go.
Well done.
Well, hang on.
Thank you, Lindsay.
How good is that?
Have the child do it. That would have been fast, I agree.
So, this painting here, this is a sort of homage to Boris. Because as
Okay.
we know, Boris loves buses. And of course, he thinks buses is the solution to everything. I just think he's the most marvellous Prime Minister we've ever had. Thank you, Boris, for all the sacrifices you've made for this country. If you really want to hear what I think, subscribe to our Telegram channel. You see, because if I'm too nasty about anybody on here, all that happens is they ban me and then I can't put up these pictures of mice. Now,
I think Lawrence Fox is going to make a very good Lord Mayor of London, and I think he really will get those buses running again.
well, there we go. Let's see what happens. We can't really even talk about anything political on here, Ted, because otherwise we're living in something that is akin to the Soviet Union right now. And if any of you don't like censorship, subscribe to the Camelot Castle Telegram channel, which we will put up at the end of this show. Now, what painting have we got here now? Caspian? Oh, this is fantastic. Look at this one.
Oh,
You need to show everybody this one. What's this one? What's going on here? Painting number 7.
What you doing, darling?
Just testing.
Testing. So is that all right? Yes. So tell us what it is.
What is going on here? Explain. Okay.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, so this is 2 mice, and they're sort of playing in a wheel together. This is a fine example of Sturton's abstract realism. This is painting number 7, and I think this is 2 friends experiencing the circle of life.
So Ted, you have to tell people what medium the paintings are in. Okay, Caspian, no, back. Thanks. That's it.
Lucky Savoy, 6 and 7 are incredible pieces. Now, the way that you're doing this, you can all bid for these pieces. It's totally fine, absolutely fantastic. Hamster at the wheel.
Or you can email Ted privately if you like.
Somebody says hamster at the wheel. Hamster at the wheel. Does anyone feel at the moment a little bit like a hamster in a wheel? Does anyone feel a little bit trapped in the wheel of lockdown? And are we ready? Just quick survey, everybody. If you could just type in the comments. Are we all ready right now to end the lockdown and let everybody get back to normality? Yes.
Could I just say something? This is actually an important point. There's a very good section where Christopher Walken talks in the wedding, I think it's Wedding Planners, I think it is. He talks about the 2 mice. Both get trapped in a churn of milk. One mouse dies, and the other mouse keeps swimming, and he turns that milk into butter, and he walks out.
Wow, what a great story. And I think we've got a lot of people here that have been turning the motion that we've been all experiencing to their advantage, and I'm very, very proud. Tomorrow I'm going to be welcoming James Melville here, who's a big commentator. He's coming here, so tune in at 10 o'clock or probably 11 o'clock tomorrow. He's coming here for a business meeting. He's a big political anti-lockdown commentator, so he's coming here and we're going to interview him. Number 8, painting number 8. This is 2 mice looking at, what's that building there, Caspian?
Big Ben.
Big Ben. And who lives in Big Ben?
Don't know.
Well, that's where all the politicians live.
What's a politician?
Bloody good question. Bloody good question. Yeah. I have got no idea what a politician is. I don't know what they do. The lights are on. Very few people are at home mentally. But this is 2 mice looking at the home of politicians. And the question is, what are those mice thinking, Caspian? What are those mice thinking? Are they thinking they'd like to go in there, or are they thinking, bloody hell, I'm going to avoid that place like the plague? You see? What are they thinking? That's 2 mice looking at Big Ben. And that's number 8. Caspian, what would you say to people at home about this painting?
This one. Can you have a look at this
I don't
one?
think he knows what a politician is. So it's-
A politician,
is a
Caspian,
person in the government.
is somebody who makes these rules about masks. What do you think of the rules about masks, darling?
Not good? Do you think they're good or not?
No.
No, Caspian doesn't like masks. So
No.
some people have asked about our Telegram channel. Just a minute.
Mom, мне что-то хочу спросить.
Нет, мне нужен мой телефон. Хочешь спать, где он?
Now, this painting is number 9.
Можно посмотрю мультик?
Наверху.
Что? Нет,
Yeah,
тогда я
Caspian.
лучше здесь.
This painting is number 9.
Нет.
Carry on, John.
Caspian, you're supposed to be helping Ted with this. Are you going to continue?
He's gonna go upstairs and watch
No.
cartoons.
I want to just stay here.
Okay.
Oh, you
good.
want to stay here? Okay, because it's quite tired, Caspian, at this time. It's quite late. This is 2 mice looking across. Do we know what bridge this is? Does anybody know what bridge this is? This is actually Tower
That's
Bridge.
beautiful.
Tower Bridge. And this is 2 mice contemplating. Imagine how much water those mice have seen go under the bridge. And I'm just wondering, have we all seen a lot of water go under the bridge recently? I think we've all been witnessing a lot of water going under the bridge. But this is 2 mice looking at Tower Bridge. Peter, thank you very much. That is painting number 9 for those of you that are bidding privately.
Thanks for the
We're doing a bit of a
email address.
silent auction here this evening. And you just send Ted a little email. Now, what is this, Caspian? Well, you're not even on the camera, darling.
He's
Nobody
fine.
can see you.
He's okay. He's just going to take a moment.
Okay, this one here is number 10.
Size, yeah.
Oops! Sorry, darling.
You okay?
Number 10. Yeah, I'm fine. And this is very subtle. And I don't know if you can see. This is the sort of thing that Ted Sturton is known for. Is there's a message within a message.
How do we bid? So you can send a private email, or you could bid here, Ed, openly, or you can send an email to Ted privately. Agatha, could you please put Ted's email address if you're there,
Now here on
or
this,
anyone else who's watching, or I'll do it in a minute.
There is actually a double meaning to this.
could I just also say that this on the picture for 1 second? Would you mind?
Well, you are the artist, Ted, so it's totally reasonable for you to have a say.
So this mouse here is saying to the other mouse, "Thank you for moving down, because there's not much room up here for the two of us."
There's not much room. That is, for those of you in America, that is a pun on mushroom. Mushroom. That's what we call an English pun. An English pun. Mushroom, much room, you see. I'm sure you all understood that. Now, there's something else here that is very, very interesting, and this is a powerful statement against war. And you may say, what do 2 mice and 2 mushrooms have to do with the anti-war movement? But if you look carefully, perhaps close one eye and just squint slightly at the screen, you can actually see that coming up from behind the mushrooms in the sky is the end of a mushroom cloud. And of course we forget that our leaders on this planet have been taking us in the direction of Armageddon for quite some time. And the more we give in to them, the more likelihood we are. And you see why I love this painting. And this painting, I think, if this was in a London gallery, would go for an absolute fortune. It would go for an absolute fortune because you have these mice there sitting on the mushroom, quite innocent, that they are about to be engulfed in what we call nuclear blowback, or the shockwave from the mushroom cloud, which has clearly exploded just behind those 2 mushrooms, you see, and you can see it up in the sky behind them at the very end. It was obviously a foggy day that the nuclear bomb exploded. But you can definitely see. So this is mushrooms in front of a mushrooms with two mice that are completely oblivious. And how oblivious have all of us become? This is the question that I would like to ask.
See, that's what Lucky's avoid. Deep.
This is very, very deep.
Very deep.
Very, very deep.
Really
And Robert is
cool.
absolutely right. Mice are prophets. You are not kidding. Not kidding. Ted the Turbot says, hi from Thailand. Ted the Turbot. Do you know Robert Harbold Hammond? Because he is from Thailand as well. Lord Harbold Hammond is a seaman and a great strategist, I would say, global strategist from Thailand. Now that is pretty interesting. Nix Watson. That is painting number 10. Painting number 10 in this incredible show. And, you know, the quality now. What do we have here?
Ted has to answer what medium they're in because few
Acrylic
people
on
have
acrylic.
Acrylic.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Well, actually, in some are mixed media, which means more than one medium. So some are acrylic, some are acrylic with Indian ink, some are acrylic with marker. So we say mixed media.
Now this is very interesting. This is painting number 11. Painting number, for those of you that are bidding it privately at home, you just have to text Ted. And, you know, these paintings, you know, as I said, if you were an oil-rich Arab and you had grown up with, you know, bags of oil under the bed, I would have no problem charging you at least £6 to £7 million for this painting because you've been overcharging me for my petrol. So I would have not a slightest flutter of conscience. However, if you're an ordinary human being like ourselves, basically what I should tell you should just hurt you a bit. And then that you'll probably be in the right ballpark. So this is two mice with a wheelbarrow and a ball and one little mouse coming out of its hole. And then there's another little mouse, as you can see, climbing up the wall. Very abstract, very simple. It's the sort of thing you'd see in a luxury bathroom in Belgravia. Sort of thing, and it's obviously signed. Each piece is signed by the artist. That's painting number 11. Now,
We have actually got some paintings in Belgravia.
My gosh.
we do, yes, we do.
Yes,
we
you got
do.
lots of
Now,
paintings in Belgravia.
we're moving on, and I did promise you mice, and I promised you cats.
Oh, that's a lovely piece.
Now, there's a quote on here, and it says, "Quick, Nippy, grab the rope." You see?
Oh, how lovely is that?
Quick, Nippy, grab the rope. And there's a great deal of subtlety here, because you see there's one mouse, I don't know if you can see him, in the basket there looking out over the edge, and he's holding the rope down to his friend. Quick, Nippy, grab the rope. And there's this bloody cat right there. And you just know that that cat is going to grab that mouse. And I was looking at this painting the other day and I thought, you know what, that painting is the most amazing metaphor, because if you noticed, and I'm sure many of you will, the colours of the balloon subtly refract the colours of the book cover of Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health. And this, for me, Ted, and correct me if I'm wrong here,
You're absolutely right.
is a metaphor for, you see, that cat to me represents depression. And the balloon represents the hope of Dianetics and freedom. And the caption says, you won't be able to read it because it's in, well, maybe you can.
Because it might be backwards for them.
It could be backwards for you. No, it's not, because I've reversed the mirror.
I beg pardon.
Quick, Nippy, grab the rope. Nippy is obviously the name of this mouse down here, if I've got that
That's
correctly.
right, yeah.
And then you've got the other mouse coming. You see, look at that. And I have to tell you, if you have depression out there, if you're not feeling very well at the moment, if you're a bit down in the dumps, or just having a bad hair day, Josephine Finocchiario, listen.
Can you answer?
She says, I want that one. I have no idea about pounds.
It's roughly the same as dollars.
Roughly the
A
same as
little
dollars,
bit-
roughly the
a
same as
little bit
euros,
more
a little bit more than lira. We don't have those anymore, do we? A little bit more than euros. It should just hurt you a bit, that's all I would say. This is a very powerful piece.
It's a very special today. It's for the broadcast and for the viewers only. So you're getting very special offering.
more or less, if you offer a fair price, you're going to get a good deal. And that's how it is. You just can go back and forth on Ted Sutton, haggle hard. He's a brutal businessman. Brutal.
No, he's not.
He's a brutal businessman.
Very, very, very kind.
The whole point is here is we're all having a bit of fun. Isn't that amazing? It says there, look, I'm going to remember that picture for the rest of my life. Quick, nippy, grab the rope. Is that the name of this painting?
Yeah.
Quick, nippy, grab the rope.
Yeah.
What a great name for a masterpiece this is. And there's the cat. The cat represents to me depression. The balloon represents the glory of Dianetics. And by the way, if there's anybody out there that has not read Dianetics, please read it and do me a favour, buy an extra 10 copies and give
Josephine
one out
says.
to your friends.
Look at what Josephine said.
It says, Josephine Finacaro says, I'm a psych nurse practitioner with depression, homeless at the moment for speaking my truth.
Dianetics.
Read Dianetics and go to cchr.org. cchr.org, Josephine. You will have an epiphany like you have never had before. So this is a lovely thing. And that is painting number 12. Painting number 12. Now, of course, lucky for some, unlucky for others. This is a masterpiece.
God.
Now, this is 13. Now, this is one of what I would call
3D.
This is something that if Bansky was to produce this, or if Damien Hirst was to produce this, it would be better than anything they've ever done, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is an amazing piece. And of course, it is mixed media. And as you can see, I'm going to hold it sideways. It's actually got a cheese grater stuck on the painting. This is painting number 13. Ted, this should be in the Royal Collection here at Camelot. It should be.
I love that one.
Irina, I'm surprised you haven't acquired that for your own collection, to be fair. This is something that, it really is a beautiful piece. A cheese grater, a mouse, a piece of cheese, obviously, and a cat, but it's a spiritual cat appearing straight out of the ether. Reminds me of the Cheshire Cat.
Absolutely.
In
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland. So for those of you that love cats or love mice, Josephine says, and I call him a space cat or a light worker.
It's her cat.
Look at that.
Josephine.
This one is amazing. My cat's name is Descartes. Descartes. What a great name for a cat. What a fantastic.
Isn't a good name for a cat.
This piece is absolutely stunning.
How much for this?
How much for number 13, Michelle Bloom? Michelle,
Just
a piece
email.
like this, if you were an oil rich Arab, yours for £25 million. However, I suspect that you were not, maybe you were, born with an oil rig under the bed. Just make a nice offer that feels comfortable for you. The whole point about this is that it's fun, it's enjoyable, and you should have a win. That's the whole idea. And what we're doing here is tonight, you just email Ted and we'll let you price it. How about that?
Why don't you just...
There you go.
Now, that's number 13. Golly, here we have number 14 and... Wow. Some of these, I have to say, I'm just taking a moment, before I share it with you, I'm just going to enjoy this myself, if you don't mind. Because this is really special, Ted. This is really, really special. I'm not going to show it to you yet, because I'm just going to enjoy it myself, to be honest with you. This is deep. This is really, really deep. And I'm going to show this to you now. This says, what is art? And there's two mice there, as you can see, and they're looking at a question mark, or is it a ball, or is it the sun? And one of them is saying, I am thinking. And the other one says, very intelligently, I am looking. I am looking. Have you ever noticed in life there's a lot of think that goes on? We think about this, we think about that. And while we're thinking, we're not actually looking.
So true.
What if over the last 20 months, instead of doing all the thinking, we'd done a lot more looking? you see. And underneath, Ted has posed the question, what is art? What is art? Well, definitely, those people that look have a better idea as to what art is than those people that think. And one of the most interesting things I never forget, we had the top art critic down here from the Telegraph. And she saw Ted's art and it actually blew. She was so blown away by it. She said, this is just so amazing. This is so fantastic. But it blew a gasket in her because she just couldn't understand the variation. She said, but there's 3 or 4 different styles here. There's many different styles. And Ted said, well, because she's just used to paintings, artists just doing one style. She couldn't believe it. And she was doing way too much thinking. She just looked at it and said, so I love that. Look at that. I am thinking, I am looking. What is art? That is painting number 14. For those of you that are bidding at home, you just send Ted, you see now.
Or you can bid on here too.
You can bid here too.
Yeah,
you can bid.
You won't Ted won't be insulted.
Ted won't be insulted. Now this is very interesting. Ted Sturton. 2 mice and a balloon. Is that the title of this painting?
Absolutely.
That's
Number 15. Lovely. 2 mice and a balloon. 2 mice and a balloon. Lucky Savoy says she was overthinking.
She was indeed.
Yeah. Now here we go. What have we got here? Ooh, golly!
Oh, I love that.
I love this. I love this. Caspian likes this one as well. This is number 16. And here you have 2 mice looking at a woman. Looks like to me, is she in Paris, Ted?
She's in Paris.
How did I know? You see, it's just Parisian women. They just look different, don't they? And obviously she's got her little dog there, and she's got a handbag. I couldn't tell you. Some of you ladies out there might be able to tell me where that handbag is from. I'm not a handbag expert, but it's in sharp red. And very nice. Really, really, really good example of abstract realism. And I don't know if you can see the subtlety in the brush strokes for the sky. It doesn't quite pick it up on the camera, but for those of you that like your skies, this is it's very subtle, very, very powerful. That grey can be a fascinating colour to work with.
Yeah,
I love grey. Grey is.
You get so many different shades.
Trina Erswell said, "Hope you're both okay." Yes, we are. We're all doing wonderful. We're doing wonderful. Now here we go.
Shall we have?
Yes.
They saw this last.
Well, you've seen this before.
Yeah.
Let's go to.
But I'm going to name this number 17. It didn't sell before. I think it's one of the best pieces in the castle. Very simple message. Every day is a blank canvas. 2 friends. This is one of the friendship series. Look at that. That's number 17. There you go.
Yes.
This, of course, very special. We revealed this the other day. This is 2 trees, friends into eternity, inspired, of course, by the great launch of DGB in its new incarnation. This is a darker green tree painting. This is number 19 for those of you bidding at home or manning the telephones in New York and Rio de Janeiro. I'm just kidding. You can see very subtle. You can see the 2 trees in there, in the middle, quite lovely. And this is number 19. So just absolutely lovely. This here is another green trees painting. Are you friends with the trees? Are the trees friends with you? I always feel that trees are very, very telepathic. Who here believes that trees are telepathic?
Number 20.
Number 20. So there we have it. 20 original
I think
works.
that's fine, Peter, yeah.
20 original works, original Sturtons, and I want to thank each and every one of you. Now, why are we doing this? Number one, we've got to talk about something, so we thought we might as well talk about some of Ted's art. Number two, we would like you to share this everywhere for a very, very important reason. We have a Telegram channel, and on that Telegram channel, we are giving you daily information that is vital, absolutely vital for your freedom. It's not something we can discuss on Facebook, but what I would really, really love you to do is to sign up to that Telegram channel. And what I would like you to do...
And don't forget about the Hive Mind.
And the Hive Mind, which is Camelot Castle TV chat.
On
If you go
Telegram.
in there, my God, you don't just get my information, you get the information of many, many different freedom fighters and people who are sharing information with you. So it's been a lovely evening. It's been absolutely fantastic. You've all found out the puppy's name. You all remember the lovely puppy.
Channel, John.
Yeah, please do. The puppy has been named. The puppy is called Monty. Monty is the puppy's name. Tomorrow morning, probably at around 11 o'clock, I'll send out a little... If you see, also, if you're on the Telegram channel, you'll get a tweet or a message every single time. Sorry.
I'm just 1 second.
Yeah, what are we doing?
I'm just looking. Can you post Telegram links on your Facebook page? Yes, Kirsty, I am just doing that. It's on one of the Facebook, but not on all of them. I'll be on Telegram channel soon. Okay. Oh, it's gonna when it comes up, push it up.
Good.
I'm not sure.
Also, if you could I'm just going to give this particular book another plug. Could you just pass me that green book over there, darling?
This book.
Yeah. If any of you are not happy with what's going on in the world, buy and read this book. What we've been witnessing in the world is a lack of ethics. A lack of ethics. And if anything has been frustrating you, it's because you've been seeing people who are writing the rules that do not understand ethics. Please, buy this book, send copies to your local leaders. Now, I know we're a bit confused. The comments have not been as...
Because we're running on several channels. We have John Keeley watching on the other channel. Hi, John.
John
Nice to
Keeley.
see you. And
Lovely,
Mia
lovely
is
to see you.
watching
And
us.
Mia's watching.
Oh, and Daniel Turner. Daniel Turner is coming to stay. Hi, Danielle.
By the way, we are open for business, and particularly if you're in the art business, which of course, if you come to Camelot and you negotiate with Ted to get into the art business, you could be thinking about starting the art business, you would technically be coming to Cornwall for business. I believe you have to check with your government regulator, and far from it to be me to tell you to break any of these very, very vital regulations that we are all being exposed to. Do not let me tell you to break any rules. Stick to the rules, wear the rules, at least. I know a lot of you are happy with one mask. Personally, I'd go for 10. If you don't mind, go for 10 masks. But subscribe to our Telegram channel, and you may find, as they say, that there are always two sides to the story. Two sides to the story. Some people,
There's Joseph.
will find that quite useful.
John Kylie's painting, we sent that off to him
Oh,
already.
you sent John Keeley the painting.
Yeah.
That's great, Ted. John, I don't even know if he received it. John, have you received your painting yet? Because Ted's saying he sent it to you.
Now,
We would
also, I
love
want
to
to.
know.
We're doing a new logo for Camelot, and we've got a choice between freedom, not fear, or friendship, not fear. Which do you prefer? Freedom, not fear, or friendship, not fear? We're designing a whole load of mugs and T-shirts and freedom. I'll tell you what I think. I think freedom, not fear. But you tell me, what do you think? Lovely to spend an evening with you. We're going to see you very.
John got his painting today.
Yay.
Oh, good,
Send
good.
us the photograph of when you put it up, John.
Please do, please do. Peter Marshall received his painting.
Oh,
This is
wow.
fantastic.
Peter, nice to see you.
Sheila Pratt, freedom. You prefer freedom? It's either freedom, not fear, or friendship, not fear. I think freedom, not fear.
Did Caspian receive my book, The Secret Way?
Michelle, I'm not sure he did, Michelle. I'm not sure he did.
When did you send it? When was it sent?
We always try and let people know if we have received things because we do appreciate them.
Check if some mail has been.
Sheila Unwick says,
We'll
I
have
just
another
finished
look.
doing the ethics course. It was amazing. Do yourselves a favour. Buy the book. Do the course too. You will grow. Yeah, because each of these books, by the way, and you'll find this. Could somebody just put up the link for this ethics book? You can get it at New Era Publications. If somebody could put this up. There's an extension course you can do with this book. Ted, you've read this book, haven't you?
Well, I've not only read the book, but I've also done the extension course, which you can do at home. You just do a lesson or two, if you like, each day or each week or whatever you like. So you can have it all supervised and everything. So it's fantastic. It's really easy to do too.
Now, Robert Harwood Hammond said something very interesting. Freedom and friendship. Keep all words positive. Focus on what you want. Robert, I think you may have out-trumped me as usual. I think freedom and friendship is absolutely right.
Robert,
Why feed the evil? Why feed the evil?
My lord, the hand goes to you.
Yeah, well done, Robert. Freedom and friendship. Keep all words positive. Focus on what you want. You see, we can all learn.
I like it too.
Genius. I like that. Not freedom, not fear. Why do we want
Christine
to?
Rust put a link to where to buy the book.
Here we go.
Thanks, Christine.
There we go. New Era Publications, Ultimate Basics, Basic Books. And that's where you can buy this book. Do this for yourself. It is a great, great gift. And that's for those of you that want to help fix things. For those of you that are depressed, in any way, shape or form, Dianetics is what you need. Dianetics is the thing.
Yes.
And we are moving forward here. We've had a great couple of days. Fantastic couple of days. We're going to have a very exciting few days in various different areas. I cannot talk about what exactly is going to happen. Our good friend, Candace Owens, who we introduced to her husband, actually, George, who's a lovely young man, has just written a fantastic article in the Daily Mail, which I have put on my Facebook page, and I tweeted it out on Twitter. And I would really appreciate it if you could share it and tweet that out, because it puts a very common sense viewpoint forward. She is, as you know, Candace Owens is married to an Englishman, and she is black. And so she's in a very, very good position to communicate very fairly on the subject of, and she's just had a child as well. And she's written a very, very interesting piece on the recent, what should we call it? Hullabaloo, I would call it, in relation to Meghan Markle. It was a bit of a hullabaloo, Ted, wasn't it?
It was a jungle scene.
It really, really was a hullabaloo. And, you know, they were having a ding-dong, and Oprah, of course, got herself stuck in there. I think she's the only one that's come out of it well.
That's what
She got some fantastic ratings. I think she was trying to help her friends there. Lynn Towson, love Candace. Well, I love Candace, and I'm particularly proud that, you know, Charlie Kirk, who's a good friend of ours, Candace used to work with Charlie, and they're still very close and good friends, and they work in association and so on and so forth on various different things. And Charlie came to London, and we were supposed to have a dinner, and he brought Candace with him. And we were supposed to have a dinner for 6 people in London. Irina, myself, Ted, Charlie and Candace. I think one other person, probably. And Ted, of course, then said, well, why don't we just do a slightly bigger arrangement? And why don't I call up my club in London? And Ted is well, you've been a member of the RAC club for many, many years, haven't you?
28 years.
28 years. 28 years a member of the RAC club with that beautiful, noble...
Best club in London.
It is the best club in London. It's the best. It's a gentleman's club. It's one of those clubs. They just about allow women in there now. Just about.
No, but they look at you.
But they didn't
funny
used to.
if
They do. They still do.
do.
They look at ladies
They look
a
at
little.
you funny when you walk
Yeah,
around.
slightly.
Yeah, Yeah.
So they're a bit guarded in there, the men
No,
still.
The old members.
The old
really
boys there.
still, they can't believe it. They're outraged deep down.
I mean, and Ted actually was one of the people that lobbied for women to come in there, weren't
I
you?
did.
You did,
I
yeah,
actually
absolutely did. So he changed the tide there as well, and that was a hell of an art creation, because to get women into the RAC club was quite something.
After 100 years or something.
No, amazing. So anyway, to cut long story short, Ted said, "Well, why don't I call my club and we'll do a dinner at the club for 30?" And I said, "Well, I'm not sure we'll get 30 people along." He said, No, I think we probably will, because Charlie's very popular and Candice is very popular. And so we started inviting people, and before we knew it, I'd invited another friend of mine, Peter South, and of course the delicious and delectable Amanda Eliash, who is London's greatest socialite. Well, of course, by the time I'd invited her, half of London wanted to turn up, and we ended up having to get a bigger room, didn't we?
Got a bigger room.
We got a bigger room. I think it was the Napoleon Suite, wasn't it?
we have to extend the room. We had to, didn't we?
We had to extend the room. Was it the Napoleon Suite we had at the RAC Club?
So, yeah.
I think it was the Napoleon Suite. And bloody hell, we had 250 people turned up to hear Candace Owens. And of course, there was I, and I had invited George, Candace's husband. And future husband, and they'd never met. And of course Candace arrived, and I was introducing Candace to everybody, because of course she was in London. She'd only been into London a couple of times before. I think it was Charlie's first time in London ever, and I think it was. I don't think Charlie had been to London before.
I think that's right.
Maybe you're right.
I think Candace had been before, but I don't think Charlie had. And so there we are at the sort of, we've got this sort of line-up, and everybody's coming through and shaking hands and sort of saying hello, and all very excited to be there, because they're highly entertaining and very intellectual. Of course, it was a very intellectual evening. And George bounds up to Candace and says, well, I introduced him. I said, "This is George Farmer, Lord Farmer's son." And of course, George's father was one of the biggest fundraisers for the Conservative movement in England in the history of the Conservative Party. Extraordinary fellow, big copper trader in the city, very, very interesting man, deeply Christian, deeply devout, great, great man, really, I should say. Anyway, I introduced these two powerful bloodlines, and I have to say, what an introduction it was. And I was very sad we couldn't go to the wedding in the end. We were invited to this amazing wedding over at the Trump Vinery, and I think Nigel went, didn't he? And,
Nigel did go, yes.
Nigel Farage went, and I know that we were supposed to all go, but it was getting a little hectic over here by that time, because we had all sorts of things going on over here. And we had a family situation. I think we had to go to Kazakhstan or something, didn't we?
Something like that,
Yeah.
yes.
So we didn't end up going to the wedding, but we definitely... It's just a slight digression. But anyway, Candace today wrote the most fantastic article about the hullabaloo that we all experienced. And my gosh, Virginia Piara, fantastic to see you.
Hi,
I want to
Virginia.
speak to you.
Hi, how
We
are
need
you?
to get this jewellery project going again. And I'm not going to say openly what it is, but we need to, and we would love to, and do...
Does she need to see that? No.
No. That's all fine. We will be in touch very, very soon. Now, what did you all make of the Oprah, Meghan, Harry interview over there? Very, very interested to know. Of course, this is the subject of subjects. And the hullabaloo over here. We've had Piers Morgan's resignings, and Christ, I never thought anything would dislodge him from breakfast TV. But actually, as much as Piers and I have disagreed on a number of things, including his viewpoints on various different things, which I'm not allowed to mention on Facebook, but if you subscribe to the Telegram channel, you will have these things, and you will experience these viewpoints. I think that Piers was in the right to say, I do believe in free speech, and what I always say is I will defend your right to do a hatchet job about me to the death. And this is what I always say to journalists. Of course, they always end up doing a hatchet job anyway. So there we go. I've taken to collecting hatchet jobs. And actually, you'll be pleased to know I've signed up for another 3 hatchet jobs this week. So there's going to be another 3 journalists writing ghastly articles about Camelot Castle and about all the dreadful things that go on here, such as Crumpet and Treacle Tart and the world's greatest living artist. And, of course, now they'll probably be slagging off dear Monty. You see, here's a challenge for those merchants of chaos out there. See if you can write a horrible article about Monty. That's about... that's a good challenge for you. That'll test your journalistic capacity. That's our new puppy. And, he's a normal puppy, quite nice, but I'm sure you'll find something peculiar about him. He's a Cocker Spaniel, and I'm sure you'll find something horrible to say. But anyway, so fantastic to be with you all. Do share Candace Owens' article, and if you could retweet that like the devil.
Did you make of her book as well? Did you mention her book?
Oh, she wrote a fantastic book. But the book now is, that was very relevant last year. This article is relevant for the now. And what we try and do, Ted, don't we? We try and stay in the now. Yes. We try and be... We're not cutting edge here at Camelot Castle. This is the bleeding edge of life, which is the piece of, just before the cutting edge is the bleeding edge, you see. So this is the bleeding edge of media comment. A lot of you laughed last week when I said that Meghan Markle was going to... 2
years ago.
Well, 2 years ago we did say that, didn't we?
Well, after Archie was born.
After Archie was born, I said she will be running for president. And what was printed in page 6 in New York, in the New York Post, I think it is, page 6, wherever that runs.
Who is terrified at the idea of President Meghan Markle? Who is anyone here?
Anyone on here?
Terrified and frightened?
Anyone here? Yeah.
Anyone? What do you guys think?
Would anyone here like to have President Markle?
Meghan, President Markle.
President. Would it be President Meghan or President Markle?
President Markle. Madam President, it would be.
It would be Madam President, wouldn't it?
Yes. Yes.
What do we think?
What do you think?
Because I said it, and there you go. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you all. We're going to say goodnight. Ted, did you want to have final thought? Ted's final thought?
Oh, I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you, John and Arena, for asking me to be on this evening's broadcast, because I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Who likes it when Ted comes on the show?
Many people like it.
And I just also wanted to say to any of you out there that if you're ever at all feeling slightly under the weather or anything like that, or you're a bit concerned about what's going on, that's totally understandable. But remember, you don't have to suddenly feel the muse to get creative. In other words, if you get creative first, you'll find that all the other less desirable elements about you very often will drift away into the ether. So that means, any painting you want to do, you can make photographs, film scripts, books, short stories, pottery, poetry, jewellery, photography, whatever it is you want to do. And just each day do something creative for you, not to try and impress other people necessarily. And you'll find all of a sudden everything else will be just that much more enjoyable, if you see what I mean. So that's why I try and tell myself.
What a good advice. And people really do agree here. Look at all the comments that we need you on broadcast more, Ted.
Yeah, but also, please, I do sometimes say this when I meet people and we're chatting. Please, if you forget everything else I mentioned just there, never, ever, ever compare yourself or anything that you make to anything or anybody else. You're unique and you're special, and that is why you are loved.
Very, very good.
So it's the uniqueness and the specialness that people appreciate about other people. It's their individuality. It's not where they're the same as everybody else. Because a lot of people think, well, if I've got the same handbag as that person over there, I'm going to be liked. Or if I've got the same car as that fellow over there, or the same jet as that person over there, or the same helicopter,
absolutely,
I'm going to be liked.
Absolutely.
It's like when Alfie came down here the other day, I thought, well, I wouldn't mind a helicopter like that.
Absolutely.
But actually, that's Alfie's style.
Absolutely.
That's what Alfie does. He is got this fabulous helicopter, and he's just gone and gotten himself another one. And this is absolutely fantastic.
And also, I just as another, may I have one more thought?
Ted, you can have more than one thought. Absolutely. I
think this is a really important point too. It's on the subject of Dianetics. Some people may or may not feel, oh, God, sit down and read a book about, well, I've got a million and one other things to do. This is fine. What you can do is you can do two things. You can not only get the book, but you can also see a little DVD, and there's a little short clip as well. I don't know if it's been mentioned here or whether you've put the clip up for Dianetics at all, but you can see the DVD or a short clip, and it explains exactly how Dianetics works. And it is incredibly simple and an incredibly powerful thing to do. Now, not necessarily for you, because you may not feel you need it, but you might know somebody, a friend or a family member or somebody who does get a bit down sometimes. So you can always give it to them. Have a look to see what it is. If it makes sense, then you can always pass it on or enjoy it yourself. It doesn't really matter. So it's for everybody. And that I really wanted to, bang on about that.
Well, I think it's absolutely right. And the point my big takeaway from your observation, if you don't mind me saying, is a lot of people think they have to feel creative before they start being creative. What you're saying is do it the other way round.
Absolutely.
Just start creating, irrelevant of whether you're feeling in a creative mood.
It's got nothing to do with it.
Just start creating.
Yeah.
And a lot of creative people out there who, they think, oh, I've got to have that moment of inspiration.
It never comes.
Is there such a thing as the moment of inspiration? Or does the moment of inspiration come from doing?
The question is, does it come or do you create it? The
Well,
moment
you're
of
so right,
inspiration.
Irina. You're right, Irina. You create it.
You create your own inspiration, don't you?
Absolutely right. 100%.
So you
100%.
You just start.
Yeah. Otherwise, you start doing one thing and then you say, oh, well, I'll wait for the muse to arrive. You'd be waiting for the muse to arrive for 5 or 10, 20 years or a whole lifetime.
100%.
So I totally agree with you.
100%.
Isn't art an interesting thing? I think everybody should have a hobby or an art. And I love how you mention that art isn't necessarily painting. It could be short stories, books,
Gardening.
pottery, gardening. I mean,
Cooking.
now is the time, by the way. And can I just put in a plug locally for Homely Garden Centre?
Oh, yes.
Gardening. If you want your gardening supplies locally in Cornwall, the place to go is obviously Derek's Homely Garden Centre. It's just, it's on the outskirts of Launceston.
Well, I think gardening is very therapeutic.
It is
It's a
therapeutic.
great art form.
And now's the time to get the bulbs in the ground and the spring potatoes. Very important that you get out there and Ted's been out in the garden putting wildflowers out. Wildflower seeds.
Absolutely.
How do you do that? Explain to people how you do that.
Well, basically, this is the time of year, and it's very simple to do. You just get your wildflower seeds, and you just don't have to put them in too deep. You just very gently just rake a little bit on the top and just scatter them. And you want to do them over the period of a few days or even a couple of weeks if you like. And then they don't all come up, you see, just in one time. They come up over the period of the sort of May, June, July, August. And also with poppy seeds, you can buy poppy seeds. They're not very much. There's like £1.99 for a pack of 1 to 3,000. And you put
so they're very economic, in fact, poppy seeds.
Very. So and what you do is you can put them in the deep freeze for 2 or 3 days, and they give the seed casing the impression that there's been a frost. So that will allow them to start the germination process. So the seeds can then take. So
that's a real gardening trick. For those of you that didn't know that out there, basically that's how you get poppies to germinate.
Yeah.
Is you put them in the deep freeze.
Yeah.
They think there's been a frost.
Yeah.
I never knew that. You see, there's something.
I didn't know
Did
that.
you know that, darling?
No.
And so now there's also something else here. When you help other people, so if you just take yourselves out of the equation for a second and just picture yourself as sort of having one friend or 10 friends or 1,000 friends or certain members of your family as well, aunts, uncles, grannies, grandpas, mums, dad, it doesn't matter what it is, and you send them a little packet of poppy seeds, let's say £1.99 packets of poppy seeds or wildflower seeds, and you encourage them to go and plant them in the garden. You can send them some bulbs if you like. You can get 100 gladioli bulbs for next to nothing. You can buy them wholesale, or not really very much.
We bought some really good bulbs in Aldi or Lidl.
Yes.
Lidl, I think.
Yeah.
Very, very
Crocodile
good,
heads.
well
Those
priced,
sort of,
all different ones.
some of those lilies as well, and some of this
Gladioli
African
and all
thing.
sorts.
Lucky Savoy says a good set of planting gloves are key.
Very
Do you use planting gloves, Ted?
Well, I have used planting gloves, and I think you're absolutely right. That's a very useful thing for our viewers to make a note of. So, if you're gonna, let's say, recommend your friends and things, and send something off to them, encourage them to make their gardens, as the garden grows throughout the year. So you come April, May, June, July, August. They're looking at their garden periodically, and it's coming on with all sorts of different wildflowers and bulbs they've grown, and goodness knows what else. Are they going to be thinking nice thoughts about you?
Very true.
So that's a lovely thing to do. The other thing to do is, if you live in a village in England or the UK, I beg your pardon, do get hold of the person who is running your gardening group, and or the person who is, let's say, on the local county council, whatever it is. And make sure, you can still do it now, you can still enter your village for Garden in Bloom.
Oh, is that a competition?
Yes.
That's a really good thing for the spirit of community, isn't
Very
it?
good for the community.
My Lord Robert Hobbold Hammond has just made a very, very important comment.
Yeah.
He has just said you can actually paint seashells.
Yeah, well, he's absolutely right.
He's absolutely right,
And
isn't
they make lovely things to paint.
Oh yeah, well, as an art form, but like I love that idea of gardening competition.
Yeah,
Getting the village together and everyone in the village.
that's right. It's called Village in Bloom.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do a gardening competition for all of our friends at Camelot? Here's the competition, and here's how it works. Now, this is a little spontaneous, we can refine it. But what I'd like you to do is take a picture, go into your garden now, take a picture of it now.
That's a great idea.
As it is. Obviously, we're just coming out of the winter, so it's going to look pretty bleak. And then take another picture of it when you think it's in full bloom.
Because we've got a 4 to 6 week now window of opportunity where you can plant whatever you want to plant.
Right, so
I
you take
love
a picture.
what Lynn said. Look, that we do that, and that really works. Don't forget to speak to them as they grow.
Oh, yeah, that's
My
right.
outdoor plants last longer because I talk to them with love and
Yeah.
light and
Lynn, you're absolutely
positiveness.
correct.
They do
Very
hear you.
important.
Absolutely. Also, what you do, you write message to them. If you have a plant, that's potted plant, if you write a positive message and put it in a pot, they pick up the vibration of the
Absolutely,
message, and
absolutely.
they grow better. And I tried it, and it really does work.
We are actually going to be teaming up with
very good.
a wild seed company here at Camelot Castle, and we're going to have. I think you've already found a couple of companies that
Yeah.
actually produce very, very special English wildflowers.
Wildflower
Now, obviously,
meadow
we're
seeds,
slightly
yeah.
restricted by where we can send seeds in the world, but certainly in England, we will be able to export seeds. But here's the competition. Take a picture of your garden as it is right now, and then, at the height of its bloom, take another picture. You can take more than one, and then send Ted an email.
And what's the prize? What's the main prize?
The main prize, I think, for the Camelot Garden in Bloom would be, you can
at
stay for 2
Camelot.
days at Camelot Castle as our guests.
That is
And
a
with dinner
good
and-
prize.
Yeah, you can have dinner as well, Ted. You see, he's a very tough negotiator, Ted. He just gives everything away. Yes, you can have dinner as well, and you can have a bottle of wine on Ted.
Ah! There you go.
So basically,
Well
that
done.
is
Congratulations,
let's
Michelle.
get Britain blooming again.
Yes.
Or we could say let's
The
get
world,
let's get
because
blooming.
we're just not. It's you only for the British. Oh,
Well, no. This is a global
it's
competition.
a global
competition. Take a photograph of your garden, send it before, send it after.
We would like to see some international gardens.
We would like to see
too.
some international gardens.
You know, other
In
plants.
fact, we're going to do three because I think there'll be a lot of people entering this competition. So there's going to be three winners. Main prize we'll think of the runner-up prizes.
Can that be for a couple, or is it an individual? Or
Well, it'll be a couple for a couple.
Well,
I
if
think.
they can bring.
If they are a couple, or they can bring a friend or whatever, because they're going to be in a room. There's a double bed in there or whatever.
Plants, yes.
So, anyway, definitely talk to your plants. Let's get the world gardening.
Michelle won the Gardens in Bloom 2 years ago.
Well done. My mother was
Wow.
always very, very good. Also, will you do this? I committed a terrible, terrible crime yesterday, and I have to confess to this on camera. My mother called me on Mother's Day, and I wished her happy Mother's Day, and I said I would call her back. And of course, with everything that's been going on, we got very, very busy, and by 12 o'clock I had forgotten to call her back. And, you know, I love my mother very, very much. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman, and she did, frankly, a jolly good job as a mother. Nobody could have a better mother. And I actually did upset her. And I posted a little video on my Facebook. And if you wouldn't mind, and this would be just a thing of kindness for me, I would really appreciate it if you would write a little note to my mother to get me off the naughty step.
Well, where Caspian wishes her happy Mother's Day
there's a video on my Facebook where Caspian wishes my mother a happy Mother's Day. And basically, what I can tell you, I am seriously on the naughty step because I forgot.
You spoke to her and then
I did
you
speak
said
to her.
you'll call her
I
back.
did, and I said I'd call her back. I meant I just, you know, sometimes life gets busy and you forget. I did genuinely forget. I'm not going to try and say I didn't forget. I did forget. But lots of stuff was going on last night. We got lots of different things. So I am normally pretty good at these things.
You are.
Normally I'm pretty good at these things. On this occasion, I am in the doghouse with Monty, and
You're worse than Monty.
I'm worse than bloody Monty right now.
Monty gets it better.
I'm not doing well. So if everybody on the broadcast could go to my mother's Facebook page, she's called Carol Mappin, and just do wish
No, it's
her a
on
belated.
your
It's on my
page. They
page.
can tag.
She's tagged. She'll see them. Just do say, you know, please, if you could let John out of the doghouse, that would be absolutely marvellous.
But people loved the idea of gardening competition.
Yes, the
Great
gardening competition
response.
is going to go gangbusters. So
Caspian's remark on the statement was beautiful. Oh yes, because his granny was teaching him the other day.
Also, could you mention it about being out in the environment and what people
Mother's
can
Day
do
was
out in
yesterday in the
environment? I think
UK.
I'm sorry, Ted.
Could you mention the benefits of being out in the environment and what people can
Well,
do?
why don't you tell our
How
friends?
do I make it bigger?
That
Make
would be
it
good.
smaller, John.
Yeah.
Stood up. Go on, Ted, quickly. Ted has something else to say.
Social edge.
Yes, just
Oh,
carry
just
on.
wait. Yeah. Also, when one's out in the garden, or let's say outside, or going for a walk, you know, you're putting yourself and your family and your friends, or giving them the opportunity to get out of the house, do something different, and it's a change of environment. So your environment, as you know, it becomes less threatening when you go out and you do something constructive outside. Let's say for going for a walk, or going gardening or something like that. So this actually has a treble or double empowering effect on you, if you see what I'm trying to say. So I wanted to mention that.
It is important, and you know, let's try and breathe as much life. You know, we as a species right now, there's an attempt to actually destroy our species. Now, I'm not going to get into too much detail about this. What I would like you to do is subscribe to the Telegram channel.
They can read that on the Telegram channel.
Camelot, yeah, you can read all about that on the Telegram channel. There is an attempt
Very important.
at the moment to destroy our species.
For
We
real.
are doing everything we can. Read Dianetics, read that ethics book I put up in the broadcast, and subscribe to the Telegram channel. You're going to get the full inside skinny. All the really, what I would call, rabbit hole material. You want to go down the rabbit hole, you want to really find out what's going on with planet Earth. Well, first thing you do is you read Dianetics. Until you've read Dianetics, you will not understand what is going on planet Earth, period. Not a chance in hell. And I'm going to repeat that. You will not have a chance in hell of understanding what is going on planet Earth today unless you have read the book Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. Period.
That's absolutely
End of
right.
story.
It's absolutely right.
Absolutely right. So there's many things we can do, however, on a daily basis that are positive.
Oh look, John put up his painting that he got on
Oh
the
wow,
last
send it to me.
broadcast.
Send it to me. I want to see. That looks amazing.
Send it to your where?
What's that?
To your WhatsApp. John received last broadcast we did. John very kindly bought one of Ted's friendship
Another
paintings.
painting. John is a very, very good collector of our Ted Sturton art brand, and he has many impressive pieces and beautifully framed too, some of them.
Very supportive.
Wow.
Thank you, John.
That's like, I love the light, John. I love the light there. Good one, John.
Very beautifully displayed, John. Look at that.
Wow.
Lovely. Amazing.
Stunning
is
piece. That is a
beautiful, John.
stunning piece. Ted, it's nice to see them up in people's homes, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, he's put the light right.
Friends
on
into
it, so-
eternity. And by the way, if any of you want a private commission, if any of you want colours, we can actually do that friendship painting for you. You're not going to get it exactly like that because every single one is unique, isn't it? They're all different.
All different.
But if you do want a commission, Ted can do a commission for you. And it's not on an arm and a leg. It's a lovely thing to do. If there's anybody out there that you would like to let them know. Of course, I'm saying that, but I am in the doghouse because I basically forgot. It was so... sometimes that's a flunk. That's a big flunk.
But you usually never forget.
No, I
You're
never do
always
usually.
very
I'm
good with
very,
your
very
mum.
good with it, usually. But there we go. But that is obviously how it goes. So
The gardening
we're actually one of the
competition
things
is
we're going to
on.
do. The gardening competition is on. It's a global gardening competition. A global gardening competition.
So people's
And one of the
friends
things
can
we're
take
going to do when things open up, in fact, as soon as the weather improves, the weather has been absolutely ghastly, but as soon as the weather improves, we will take you out on the road in Cornwall and we will show you some of the most beautiful gardens in Cornwall. For instance, Cahays Castle. What a fabulous... If anybody hasn't been to Cahays, we will take you around Cahays. We will show you Cahays.
Why
it is
are
so
they
beautiful.
so famous?
The
Cahays
great gardens of Cornwall.
Greatest magnolia collection, one of the
Greatest
best.
magnolia questions in the world. Anyway, I think that's it for us now. It's getting way past our bedtime. Thank you so much for joining us, Ted. Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Irina. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you to all of you at home, and we will speak to you soon. Could you please subscribe to the Telegram channel, subscribe to this broadcast, share this broadcast. We will, the freedom fighters of the world, will never be defeated.
No.
Never. And we love you all very much. And Mummy, I am terribly sorry. Terribly, terribly sorry. What can I say?
Bye.